So, as a good salesman once told me, actually, a salesman didn't tell me anything. Alright, so, warning, obviously, and viewer discretion advised for blood, gore, language, dismemberment, and all other things from all kinds of gore of my horror anime stories. Today's manga read-along of my horror anime stories is the third season of the Vampire School series, but part 1, with the third opening song. So yeah, hello everyone, second cast of Funny Lent to Anime here. Wonderful. You all know what to do for the 4 things. Bell notification, go on and press on it, I know you want to, so you're notified for all the new content on the channel. Like the video if you want, subscribe if you want, and then comment something down below if you want. But the bell recommendation is recommended. Oh, and I saw the second Avatar movie in theaters the other day. It was kind of sad, and it was pretty cool. The sad parts come near the end. But I don't like spoilers. Do you know what I mean? Alright. So, all that being said, you know what today's video is, and let's just hop right into it. The first text we get of Season 3 for the Vampire School series. The first text we get on the left page over here. Season 3, question mark, exclamation point, arrow to the right. Let's get straight into it. So this is Vampire School Season 3, the rebirth of ww1, plus Cedric as a 9-year-old German girl. Yeah. It's like I always say for all my horror anime stories now, go back and watch. Alright? Go back and watch all of the seasons to understand where we are. Currently it was already explained at the end of Season 2. Basically, spoiler warning, if all of you haven't seen it, I suggest you click off the video right now, so it's not spoiled for you. And if you all have seen it, well then, just a little recap if we shall. Alright, basically, Molly, who was turned into a vampire by Cedric. Molly was Cedric's best friend that he always looked up to, etc. And then after they went to jail, they kind of mentally lost it. I think Molly lost it all in all. After Cedric wins a card game, as Joker 40, he's knocked out by, I think, getting shot in the head, but he doesn't die, just the part of Joker 40 dies in him, and he awakens on a table later with, like, little machine straps strapped to his arms and legs, and they, just all his limbs get pulled off except for his head, and then he, gets his eyes cut out by Molly, and he, gets his heart stabbed out too, and using that blood that Molly puts in something like a needle of some sort into the body of, well, Matty der Amber, only his soul is inside her body now. So now he's basically in the form of a 9-year-old German girl, but don't worry, he comes back later, I think. That's what I plan on anyway. But basically his soul is in there, and now his new form is a German girl. It's crazy. Also, I would not mind the background, as that's kind of like a weird, funky, drunky movie going on. Anyways, we're already 4 minutes in. Season 3 hasn't started yet, but a recap has, so let's get straight into it. Vampire School Season 3, the rebirth of ww1 plus Cedric as a 9-year-old German girl. Alright. This leads us to Chapter 12. Alright, Chapter 12. The Vampire Squad of 9-year-old Matty der Amber. Or basically, put it simply, 9-year-old German girl Matty der Amber. Yeah, okay. So, let's get straight into the chapter now that we know the name and everything like that. 1 a.m. The front line of Berlin. Swine! Swine! All of you. I am Matty der Amber, a 9-year-old Nazi German. And if you die, it isn't my fault, and well, that's just too bad. We are here to give the rebirth of World War I hell, and mine comrade is Molly Pines. I must now go to mine office, said Matty der Amber, as she went to her office with such frustration and such commanding soul. She sat down, but as she looked up, a 20-year-old man with full red eyes, white-colored snow hair, and pale skin and fangs, and all black fingernails, and wears a black shirt, black pants, and black shoes, was sitting right in front of her desk on the other side of it, then sat up. It was Cedric's soul. Only Matty der Amber could see and hear him. Man, wouldn't that suck. Alrighty. Gah! What the hell? Who are you, and what do you want? I want to be myself. Give me your body, you German. Who are you? Now tell me. I am Cedric. My soul is in you, Matty der Amber. This won't be the last you see of me. Only you can see and hear me. As Matty blinked, the soul of Cedric was gone. In front of her, anyway, was gone. As Matty grinned with horror, she put a pistol to her head and pulled the trigger, but the ammo in the clip was empty. 9! Well, no matter the cost, I will guide my squad to a hellish damned nightmare. If they die, they can kiss their asses goodbye. As Matty laughed in such madness, her eyes turned full black for 5 minutes straight, then back to white and yellow. As of 2:06 a.m. the next day, Matty and Molly and her team were gonna ascend into the swamp of Rebirth World War I. That concludes chapter 12. So now you guys kind of see that Cedric's soul just wants to be in his body, or his new body now, or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of a creepy concept, but it's real sad. Chapter 13 time now. Matty der Amber / Cedric's team ascend from the blimp into a swamp of rebirth, World War I. Excuse me, General Amber. Why are we... No, that's not it. Not what I was gonna say anyway. Why are we in a fucking blimp? Said 13-year-old Roger Muffins with fear as he gripped his sword. Roger was just scared on the front line. Roger has tan eyes, very short gray hair, white skin, and fangs with vampire blood in him, and wears a black shirt and green pants and black shoes. But as Matty der Amber answered Roger's question, she felt a little relieved. Well, Mr. Rogers, we will be falling from this blimp all the way up in the sky into the muddy swamp of the rebirth World War I. And if all of you die, well, isn't that just too bad? Said Matty der Amber, as she grinned with evil, as she grabbed her 1911 and loaded it. She could feel the wind blowing her short blue hair. As she jumped off the blimp backwards, while upside down in the air with a smile of death, her eyes turned full black as she closed her eyes. She then landed in the swamp in a large puddle of gray mud as she emerged out of the mud. She was all covered in gray mud. As she opened her eyes, her left eye was black and red. She saw the soul of Cedric again, but with no eyes this time, and blood going down his face. So, just going on without your team, just accept me. Come on, I know you want to accept me as one, said the soul of Cedric, as Matty said, Shut up, I do not need you. I don't need you, Cedric. As her right eye went back to white and yellow, she went without her team. God, they're so slow. Wait. Oh, fuck, said Matty, as she saw a bunch of enemies and jumped in the air without thinking and killed 35 of them with a grenade. You want to die, so be it. Then, let's fight. As Matty's eyes turned all black and then back to white and yellow, Matty turned around and saw both enemies of more in front of her, but both of her eyes this time were full red. The soul of Cedric was in control of Matty for 8 minutes straight. This fight will go down. And that's the end of chapter 13. And then, so, opening song 3, Camouflage of War, is pretty long, so I understand if you guys skip past this part. That's okay. But it does say a lot about the story, I'm just saying. Anyways, you all know the drill by now, hopefully. So whenever there's an opening song or ending song in my stories, it's going to be a black screen version, because my phone likes to wobble up and down when I try to hold it above the words. Yeah. Okay. So, enjoy opening song 3, Camouflage of War. I hope you guys enjoy. And girls, obviously. I will walk alone, away I just go into the dark. Are you my for myself? All my comrades follow this way. If gunfire goes, we must just hide. This is my fate. Don't give a damn about team. I will knock you into the mud. Cover yourself. It's the camouflage of war. This is our fate. I must kill. I can hear my real self. I am a young German Nazi girl. I will leave you to die, yeah. I will die never. I will hit you down with the butt of my gun off my own gun. Into the mud. This is the camouflage of war. I must run, maybe? My end is near, and now we're left to die. Can you hear and smell the smoke in the air? We will create hell for all. I am a young German Nazi girl. We shall be covered in mud or blood. This is the camouflage of war. I can only hear and say my for myself. Now, we must hide or give our lives. Alright, so that was the opening song, the third opening song. Now, I was thinking about putting this for the second part of Season 3, but this is going to be in the first part. Since this chapter's done. I don't know what my dad is watching down there. So, this is chapter This is chapter 14. Cedric takes control of Matty for 8 minutes while covered in mud to fight in the swamp of the rebirth World War I. Damn it! I'm not liking this. These readings are off the charts. Officer James, tell everyone to stay here on the blimp. I'm going down there, said Molly, as she fell from the blimp into the gray mud. But as of 6 minutes later, we resumed the fight. Well, one little Russian soldier left. See, I drank them dry. Now die, fucker, said Cedric, as she shot the last soldier of the Russians and watched the Russians bleed out. But as her eyes turned back to yellow and white, or white and yellow, Matty der Amber was back in control of her body. Fuck. No. 9. Did I kill these 82 swines? 9. It was Cedric. He took over mein body. Fuck. I'm such a Dunkopf, said Matty der Amber, as she fell into another big gray and black pond of mud and sank in the mud. But as of 16 hours later, she woke up from being unconscious, and she was all cleaned off. No more mud was on her for the minute. But she was all dressed up in black as Matty grabbed her German cross around her neck. Pink lines appeared under her eyes, running down her cheeks on her face. She sat up as her lips turned black. She said, "Did our mission fail? 9. It was a success, right? But at some rate, we should be going to the land of blood and death and ashes, aka the muddy fields of war, Berlin. And depending on my team's actions to use their half-vampire powers, they might live. But I honestly don't care if my team dies," said Matty der Amber, as she chuckled with evil. As she stood up, she then saw Molly step in her office with no mud on her too. But as they sat down, they both had a talk about their next mission to Berlin, the field of mud and death. But because Matty der Amber is a 9-year-old Nazi German general with vampire powers inside of her, she had something of evil and tricks up her sleeve. And that's chapter 14 done, meaning season 3 part 1 done. So viewers, I want to thank all of you so much for watching. If you liked this video, why don't you go ahead and click the like button and hit the bell notification so you're notified for new content on the channel, and subscribe and comment something. All 4 of those options are very much optional, meaning you guys can do it whether or not you want to. It's up to you. I'm not one to force. However, I want to thank all you so much for watching. This has been Saki Nakayo Stuff Violent Anime here, and probably season 3 part 2 is probably coming next year, which is not that far away, honestly. I think it's like 2 days away, meaning like, hey, that's pretty good. But yeah, all you viewers have a great time, whether it's day or night, depending on your time in your region, time zone, that is. And all you, I'll say this for short, have a fantastic time. Yet again, this has been Saki Nakayo Stuff Violent to Anime here. And for now, viewers, I'm out. Peace out, y'all. And in advance, happy 2023.